Okay guys, we're back. Now we're going to do completing the square, and that covers numbers 14 through 18. So let's go ahead and get started. For 14 we have a squared minus 18a minus 26 equals negative 7. Now for these you will give me an actual answer. You're going to need to tell me what, in this particular case, a is, what values make this true. Okay? So step number 1 in completing the square is to move all of your constants to the right. So I'm going to keep my variables over on the left, and I'm going to add 26 to both sides. So if I add 26 to negative 7, that is going to give me 19. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we are going to do b divided by 2. Now b is this term right here, the second term. Your a term is this one. This is your b coefficient. This would be your a coefficient here. So that's negative 18, and we divide that by 2, and that gives us negative 9. Remember this. You're going to use it in just a second. And then you're going to do negative 9 squared, and that's going to give you positive 81. You are going to add 81 to both sides of an equation. Remember, whatever you do to one side of an equation, you must do to the other. Okay? By the way, let me just give you this over here in case you've forgotten. ax squared plus bx plus c. This is your standard form of a quadratic. Notice that the coefficient in front of the squared term, this happens to be a, but it could be an x or whatever. This would be a, so in this case, there's a 1 there. A is 1. And b is the coefficient of the term of the just x to the first, or in this case it's an a to the first. So that's why b is negative 18. Okay? And you'll see that as we do more of the same ones. So this over here, 19 plus 81, that's just 100. And this is a perfect square trinomial. Remember I told you to remember negative 9? Well, now we can rewrite this as a minus 9 times a minus 9. Because if you FOIL this, you're going to get a squared minus 9a minus 9a, which gives you negative 18a. And then negative 9 times negative 9 gives you positive 81. So it's really nice. Now we can write this in shorthand as a minus 9 squared equals 100. And we know how to solve these. We're going to take the square root of both sides. This is going to be a minus 9 equals, do not forget, plus minus when you take the square root of a number, and the square root of 100 is 10. And then we add 9 to both sides. So we have two possible solutions. Either a equals 9 plus 10, which is 19, that's solution 1, or a equals 9 minus 10, which is negative 1, and that is solution 2. Okay? So you can either on the test, well, the test is going to be multiple choice, but sometimes it'll be written like this, negative 1, 19, the set of numbers of negative 1 and 19 as the solution set. Okay? Let's take a look at 15. We have x squared plus 16x plus 12 equals negative 3. Again, step number 1 is to move your constants to the right. So you're only going to keep variables over on the left side. We leave a space and we subtract 12 over there. This will give me negative 15 over here. Now over here, my b is 16. So that's 16 divided by 2 That gives me 8. Remember that. And 8 squared is 64. So I'm going to add 60, actually, yeah, let's do it here, 64 to both sides. Okay? So that's going to give me -3 minus 12 plus 64. That's going to be 49 over here. And this is a perfect square trinomial. Remember, I told you to remember 8. So we can rewrite that as x plus 8, x plus 8. And in fact, if you FOIL that, you do get that. So that works out really well. And this can be rewritten as x plus 8 squared equals 49. In order to solve for x, we're going to take the square root of both sides. This will give me x plus 8 equals, remember the plus minus, the square root of 49 is 7. We're going to subtract 8 from both sides. So my two possible solutions are x equals -8 plus 7, which means x is -1, or x equals -8 minus 7, which means x is -15. And my solution set, therefore, would be -15 and -1. Okay, let's move on to number 16. So for 16, we have x squared minus 14x minus 40 equals -8. Again, completing the square, we're going to move the constants over to the right side. So x squared minus 14x equals, that's -8 plus 40. -8 plus 40 is just 32. And we're ready to complete the square. So my b is -14. I divide that by 2. That's going to give me -7. Remember that. And -7 squared is 49. So I'm going to add 49 to both sides. Okay? This is a perfect square trinomial. It is x minus 7 times x minus 7. And this is going to give me 81, 32 plus 49. So this is really x minus 7 squared equals 81. We are now ready to take the square root of both sides. X minus 7 equals plus or minus 9. We're going to add 7 to both sides. So either x equals 7 plus 9, which is 16, or x equals 7 minus 9, which is -2. So for 16, my solution set -2 and 16. Number 17, we have n squared plus 4n minus 23 equals -2. We're going to move our constants to the right. So this is n squared plus 4n equals -2 plus 23. I'm just going to rewrite this. So that's going to be 21. My b is 4, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. Remember that, and 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. And remember, I told you to remember the 2. This is a perfect square trinomial, so this will be n plus 2 and plus 2, and this is 25. This can be rewritten as n plus 2 squared equals 25. And then we take the square root of both sides, and we'll be left with n plus 2 equals plus or minus 5. So n is either negative 2 plus 5, which is 3, or n is equal to negative 2 minus 5, which is negative 7. And my solution set is negative 7, 3. All right, one more completing the square. Number 18. Let's take a look. We have r squared minus 4r minus 3 equals 2. So once again, we're going to move the constants to the right. And this over here will be 2 plus 3, which is 5. My b is negative 4 divided by 2. That's negative 2. Remember that. Negative 2 squared is 4. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. This is a perfect square trinomial. So this will be r minus 2 times r minus 2. And this is 9. And this is r minus 2 squared equals 9. We're going to take the square root of both sides. R minus 2 equals plus or minus 3. R equals 2 plus or minus 3. So either R is 2 plus 3, which is 5, or R is 2 minus 3, which is negative 1. And my solution set will be negative 1, 5. All right, we're done with completing the square. Up next will be imaginary and complex numbers. See you in a bit.